Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Just about to frame some pictures that have just come in, so stay around to find out what. So these are what came in. They come in the other week. It's from a photographer called Neil, and they're actually of the Arctic ice, and these pictures are beautiful. They're fantastic. So that's one, and then I've got the other one here, and as you can see they are pretty damn cool, and these are being framed with a mount, and the mount is going to be SBO1, which it has a black line in it. So if you look closely when we put it onto the frame, you can just probably see a black line. And then we've got a nice black matte, or should I say glossy frame going around these two. So stick around and we'll get framing. So the first part of the process is to cut the art glass, which is over here. So I'll just grab a sheet of art glass. And this glass is up to 70% UV, and it really makes the artwork actually stick out. So this is going to be around about 490. So just slide it in and make sure that we've actually got this set to glass. And there's the first cut. And we're going to do the same size for the mount board, which is the SBO1 that I talked about. So there's the SBO1. And then I cut an inner mount as well, just to protect the back of the print. So that's that cut. I've just got to cut the other side and then I'll get back to you. Right, so now what we've got to do is we've got to cut the mount board. So here's the mount board, and the customer's asked for a 45. So that's the front of the mount, this is the back. And we slide it in. We just check that the measurements are all correct, which they are. We slide this up and we go down. And we repeat this 4 times. And there we go, one mount cut. Okay, so now as you can see, we've got the mount cut, we did the 45, we've got the backing board. Now we just got to get the print inside. So lift that up and we bring the print over. And what we're going to need is we're going to need some bean bags. And we're just going to position this to approximately where we want it, bring down the mount, and you can see it's pretty nice looking. I like where it is. We place the bean bags onto the print, and then what I do, I usually get some masking tape and I'll hinge the top of the things. Now every framer has a different technique. This is just how I do it. If you do it differently, I don't care. You know, like I said, we all have our own processes. So I will just gently hinge the print. Now the reason why I don't basically put a masking tape across the top and everything is because paper tends to move. It warps depending on temperature and other things. So what we want is we want it to be able to move, and we don't want it to crinkle up. So we just get this all done. Right, and I'll probably put a bit of double-sided tape at the bottom, but on to the next process. So the next part of the process is actually cutting the moulding, which this is the frame and this is a mitre. And basically once we've got everything measured up, we just bring along the moulding or the frame to the thing and we just press down with our feet. It's not an electric one, it's a push one. Then once we've got these two sides done, we basically overcut as well, but now we're going to trim it. So basically trim away, and you do that for each side of the frame. Right, now that we've actually got the frame all cut to size, I'm just going to do some prep work on the actual moulding, and this is basically just by cleaning some of the edges and doing a little bit of covering on there. So we'll get that done now. So what we don't is we don't want these little hangy bits, so we get rid of them, and then we get a simple black marker. And what we're just doing is going around. Gives it a better finish. Yet again, take that clip off. Make sure there's no bumps or marks on the frame or dinks. And we're basically going to be doing that for each one. And then I should get you on to the next process once I'm done. So the next phase is the underpinner, and this is basically what fits the frame or makes the frame a frame. So we're just going to put this in, and we've got to make sure that the edges are perfect, and this is why I've got a spotlight, because I want to really make sure that the corner is bang on, so there's no gaps or anything, and the same with the front. Just little adjustments until you get it right. And then we press it down. And there you go, there's your first corner done. And we do the same for another long one and another short one. And I'll get back to you when it's done. So now that the frame's all done with the underpin, I've just made sure and laid it on top of the actual glass to make sure that everything fits. The next phase is just putting the glass in, cleaning it out, blowing it out, and then putting everything together. So, on to the fun bit. Okay, so the glass is now in the frame. As I said, this is AR70 glass, so it's up to 70% UV, and it's specifically done for art glass, and it makes the image look fantastic. So we're just going to get some glass cleaner. Now a lot of people will not clean art glass, or they do it differently, but I just like to give it a bit of a spray. So let's get cleaning. Okay, so that's the first lot down. And what you've got to do with art glass is you do it like the Karate Kid, if you remember that wax on, wax off. So you're waxing on and you're waxing off. And you clean the glass basically in circles, because otherwise you're going to get smears all on this art glass, and you don't want smears. So you've got to be really careful not to get the smears. So I think that's alright now. I think that's pretty good. I will give it a quick blowout with the air gun. One of my favourite tools. If you get hot, you just blow yourself. And we just give the pick a blast as well. Stick's now in, MDF backing goes on, and then we staple it in. So we get the staple, run out of staples, typical. So we basically cleaned the glass in the inside, we've blown it out, we put the MDF on, and now we have a near enough completed frame. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this side of the glass We're then going to tape it and string it up. Okay, so I've cleaned the front of the glass, there's no bits in it, it's fantastic. So now we're going to mask it up. And we're going to do that for all the sides. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, one finished frame, all ready for the customer, and I'm sure he'll like it once he sees it. Take care, thank you.